Good afternoon. Welcome. Um, Thank you for joining me. I have intentionally opened up the chat. And, what I want to see is, as I'm talking, for those of you that come on, I want to know, sharing your experience and take and feelings. And just thoughts of the things that I'm talking about. This may be memories, nostalgia. This may be the traditions that you have during Christmas and Thanksgiving. And there's many examples. There's many things I could say, but you'll find out as I'm going through, and I might not remember to tell you, oh, put this in, oh, write this in. Just as I'm talking and sharing my feelings and beliefs and opinions about these things, then I just want you to share yours and seeing what you have to say. So, I want to start by getting into this. We have entered the holiday season. We've entered the holiday season. Today is December 20th. Tomorrow is December 21st, which marks the winter solstice. And I want to take a little bit of time and talk about that. So, the winter solstice, we don't really celebrate too much of the winter solstice. We acknowledge it, but back before the birth of Jesus Christ, that's what Christmas is about, is the birth of Jesus Christ. Celebrating that, as the Son of Mary, as the Jesus Christ is the Savior and everything like that. Full disclosure, when you hear music, you don't have to always think about what the lyrics mean and empathize with what the poem is trying to say, because the melody of what's going on is really what the song is about, and the lyrics are just an addition to that. Kind of like how all the lights and the Christmas tree and all of those bells and whistles with Christmas are an addition to the true value of it, to the true value of Thanksgiving and what is really important. And I'm going to talk more about that. But, it's the melody. I was in choir and I was singing it. And although the lyrics didn't really make me feel very emotional, the melody did. The melody was that main driving thing, and I'm just saying, allowing for those feelings, allowing for them to be there, and just embracing those feelings and not judging them, not criticizing them, not trying to change them, not doing what isn't relaxing or unnatural, not overthinking, not trying to analyze, not trying to reconstruct something in your mind. Just letting things be, going with the flow is huge. And that and I'm gonna bring just a slight bit of numerology. 2021 equals a 5. This is a 5-year, which means change, chaos, and taking advantage of things, but just going with the flow, I think, is huge. But anyway, I'm not a numerologist by any means, although I will admit that I do have an interest, and I do think that it's neat, and I wish that I would have learned about numbers in that way rather than how you typically learn it in first grade. That would have been more engaging and interesting. But so anyway, so talking about, probably will be things I'll say here that I'll forget. But so talking about the 21st, that's what I was talking about. They celebrated the beginning of winter, and Christmas marks the beginning of winter time. You know, their holidays were very, very different. You know, there are people who don't celebrate Christmas. I know that there was somebody that a family member knew, I think, whose family was Christian, and they just did not celebrate it. And I think that now, in my experience, you know, I really see why, and I really see the point of not celebrating it, of not getting on the bandwagon and doing it in the traditional way. You know, and I want to talk about the astrological aspect of 2021, the main one, which is Saturn square Uranus. Saturn is restriction, tradition, rules and regulations, the way that things have always been. It's limited energy. It's confined, you know, very set in its ways, can be, just, you know, it's skeptic, you know, it's, you know, the hugest lesson in life that's the toughest to learn as you go through life. Blood, sweat, and tears, working so hard. Uranus, on the other hand, rises higher. And Uranus, that's either a Greek or Latin word, and I heard that from Rebecca Goldsmith, astrologer, means the sky, and it's all about humanity. It's all about communities coming together, but it's also about breaking out of the old system and going out of the box, and ultimately expressing your individualism and breaking that old structure and rising out of that into something more liberating and something with more freedom. And it may not be traditional, but what's most important is that it feels right. It feels good. You feel content and a lot of other things. And so the holiday season can really bring on a lot of stress with finals involving students in high school and in college. It can be the people having to prepare the food, put up the decorations, do this and do that, buy the gifts, all the things in, the mainstream society that we live in, which is really what I consider to be going about, like, if the left brain was life and you were to go out and you were to experience the left brain, that mainstream society would be the left brain. And we're moving away from the left brain. Well, not necessarily that, but we're balancing the left brain. We're balancing it because it's not this or that. It is a balance. We're balancing it. We're moving into an age where Pluto is in the last degrees of Aquarius, and, Capricorn, and it will move into Aquarius. And we're seeing communities come together. This is all about letting go of old things, expanding, trying new things, and going with the change, just flowing with the change. I think that around the holidays, spiritual self-care is so important, of what really nourishes you, what nurtures you, what makes you feel happy, content, relaxed, comfortable in your own skin, grateful, connected, all of those things. This can be forms of self-care, this can be meditation, or journaling, or mantras / affirmations. Oracle cards are although I think that Oracle cards are great, because they give you a mirror, like I did a video overview for Oracle cards of the flashlight of where to go, of what should I think about or, consider during this time, not so much like, oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do that, and oh, I have to, because this card is telling me, it's just a way of thinking about something. It's more based off of the intuitions, thing that gives you that mirror, guiding you toward the light, uplifting and empowering you, maybe enlightening you, resonating with you, healing. This may be painting or writing or listening to music or candle gazing or singing, writing a song, maybe reading, escaping, watching movies, cooking. There's so many things, and it may be so random, may be very, very eccentric, but that doesn't matter. Turning your quirks into perks. Your family or you might decide that, oh, I don't want to celebrate it the traditional way. I want to simplify it. I want to celebrate it at a different time. And just because that other way didn't work out for me, and I don't want to be confined to, oh, this is how I should do it, and the traditions, and etc. No. We are living in the age of Aquarius. So this is a time for breaking out of what does not serve, what does not work. And on that note, trying different things, trying to, being open, trying this. Okay, this doesn't work. I don't think that this is going to work. Trying this, trying that. Stretching and expanding, especially with the solar eclipse on the 4th of of December, and Gemini opposite Sagittarius, getting small into, small into the intellect, and, the, out of the, being like getting into this philosophy or religion, and that polarity there, astrologically. But so, I want to talk about, now I want to talk about Thanksgiving. And what is Thanksgiving? Now I want to talk about, and I also want to say that, and I'm not going to name who it is, but there was a woman whose parents passed away, and she just did not like Christmas. She just didn't enjoy Christmas. And so what she did one Christmas was, she didn't make the pot roast. She didn't make the boeuf bourguignon, all the fancy stuff. She didn't have her extended family over. She was at home. She made probably like a soup and then a tuna sandwich, and sat on her couch and ate it, maybe watching TV, maybe listening to the radio. And although it wasn't fancy, although it wasn't, like we would say, like, oh, is that, like, seriously, did that person celebrate Christmas in that way? Good grief. And this really leads me to the point that, bah humbug. I'm sure that you've heard the Scrooge, in the Christmas Carol. And we all kind of feel like that at some point. Maybe, that means just somebody, people who say it like that, cold, or, just however Scrooge was. But, and if you've seen the FX Christmas Carol, then there's, then he really needed a lot of mending. But so, that leads me to the point, a huge point, and I think that this point is going to really, really help you mentally and emotionally, and also spiritually. That a holiday is just a holiday. A holiday is a day that is in that time of year, that is a day of that year. That is a day that's also bringing a lot of hygge with the cold weather, with the getting around the fireplace, with the indulging in good food, listening to music, spending time with family. And you may be feeling in that mindset and that state of being, and that state of heart also for Christmas and or Thanksgiving, in any holiday. Maybe it's not on the holiday itself. Instead of trying to overthink, instead of trying to put pressure on yourself and force yourself to enjoy this, force yourself to do this or do that, or just all of those things. It's just allowing the feelings to be there, allowing whatever thought to be there, and just surrendering, accepting, and just, being grateful. And, you don't have to, I have to be grateful. It just, this comes with just, it comes at certain times. It may come, it may not be there. There are ways to get there, like meditations and things, which is calming and grounding the mind and all of that. But, yeah. So, you may be, as I said again, and there's really so much to talk about this, and so much that I want to share about this, about gratitude when it comes to just the simple things, just being with your family, watching a movie together, having dinner, maybe an average night. It may not be at this time of year, maybe in April, maybe in May, it may be just taking a walk. I mean, these simple things, and also, don't feel guilty if you feel these feelings after the holiday happened and after Christmas, after Thanksgiving. Just go, oh well, I just guess I just didn't enjoy that, and just accept that. And it can be hard to get a higher view and a higher perspective and big picture. Especially, and I'm not entirely sure about this, but Saturn in the sign of Virgo, which at the low level can be critical and, not seeing the big picture of things. That sort of mutable energy. And this is what I'm going to say if you go to your chart and look up Saturn in Virgo. Just be in the present and get grounded, and don't try to overthink and regret, all those things. I mean, I don't think that there's anyone, I don't think that you should have regrets, and if you do that, then that's fine. But there is absolutely no point in having regrets, because you cannot change the past. And I think this quote is so important and so profound. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift from God, which is why they call it the present, because it's a present, a gift, a present that God is giving you right now. And what is tangible, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can sense, what you can enjoy. And even the moments that may not be, it's those gratitude types of things. And just being present, with whatever is going on. And, maybe after the fact, it may be before the fact that you feel those feelings. But really, that holiday, that Thanksgiving and Christmas, are states of heart and states of mind, And I really don't understand, just when it comes to Thanksgiving, a day where you give thanks, and I'm echoing that, a day to be grateful. Well, isn't any day. I'm thinking of a time of year that I'm not the hugest fan of, mid-July. When it gets so hot in the summer. What if that day can be Thanksgiving? What if just a normal meal that you have with your family? What if, and I want to give a good example, what if you make chicken with cream and mushrooms and you just have rice? That's food, that's nourishing, and people do their kind of just ritual around the table. God, thank you for this food. And it may not be the turkey, it may not be the sweet potatoes, it may not be the mashed potatoes and gravy, it may not be the stuffing. It does not have to be. I mean, there's people who do, like, maybe have a La Fiesta over Thanksgiving. And, that's what they prefer to do. In certain families, it may not be traditional, but that's what they enjoy kind of doing. And so it's, a state of mind and state of heart to be in Thanksgiving. And I mean, it's really about the turkey day and the meal and then the history that goes into it. because we give thanks like any day is giving thanks, because we may need to feel gratitude at another point. We may really feel that gratitude at another point, and there may be stuff going on in your life at this point, and then it makes you feel guilty that, oh, I didn't enjoy this, oh, I didn't do these types of things, oh, I didn't connect with my family on this so very important day. And I mean, there's no so very important day. It's just a holiday that comes and goes. It's a more special day. It is a unique day. However, it's just another day. Or for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, those are just 2 days in winter. The things in winter. What about the wonderful pleasures in wintertime and all of that? Getting into the simple things, and I'm trying to think if there's anything more I want to talk about. The true spirit of Christmas, I mean, if you've seen The Grinch, when the father says, it's not about the lights, it's not like I have all that I want and all that I need, which is my family. Those perfect imperfections, that things aren't perfect. And that things are not going to be perfect. They're, perfectly imperfect. If everything was perfect, then we would get sick and tired of it. It would just have to go. Like, it clouds, and it takes away from the true value of what is actually important, and why those holidays are separated. It's the same with, if you've ever seen Snow Globe or Caroline, going below the gold, going below the surface. Maybe you want to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving, maybe combine it into one holiday earlier in November, because the Scorpio, Sun and Scorpio energy is more comfortable than the Sun in Sagittarius or the Sun in Capricorn. Because what is Scorpio? It is not right on the surface. It is fixed energy. It goes below the surface, really, really unearthing all of those things, letting things go, evolving and transforming, healing, and getting comfortable in what is uncomfortable. Highlighting that. Getting comfortable in what is uncomfortable. And then maybe at other times of year, you're just uncomfortable in the uncomfortable instead of comfortable in the uncomfortable. And maybe those 30 days are the most comfortable and most meaningful days of the entire year, from the 23rd of October through the 21st of November. That may be how you might feel. Maybe I feel like that, and you may feel like, oh, I want to take advantage. Oh, I really should celebrate the Thanksgiving and Christmas in early November. What if I want to be eccentric and have a June holiday? I mean, there's no law that says, oh, it has to be this day. Oh, it has to be on the... No. And it does not have to be a certain way either. And we're finding that just is not working for us. Breaking out of that, expanding, being curious, and all those things. And I'm trying to think of if there was anything else, because I thought that I was going to say something else. But so, yeah, and it may be those simple things. So I think that is really, and the true spirit of Christmas and all those things, and gift giving and all those types of things, you can do it. I mean, a birthday is a holiday. Maybe just a nice spring day can be a holiday that's so simple, just that normal, that, that those simple things, not overcomplicating it, I think, which is so important, is, really making it simple, not making others high-strung, or, and, especially with COVID last year, we really got into that, gratitude practice of, and I'm saying this collectively, and a lot of people probably had hard times and hard Christmases, and probably, and a hard Thanksgiving as well because of the COVID things. And, maybe you feel so nourished and so connected on December the 26th instead of December 25th, when you have the leftovers of the meal over Christmas, of the official meal. And oh my goodness, I feel so guilty because I'm feeling these feelings today, and I'm enjoying the day better than I did, which was yesterday, or a couple days ago, or a week ago, which was the official holiday. Not being afraid to go out of the box. Not being afraid to do the unconventional. That's Uranus speaking. That is Uranus talking. That is Uranus talking. That's Aquarius talking. That's what we're going to probably be moving into. Uranus always wins because it's the further out planet. And that is really the pathway that we should go down, is Uranus. Moving away from Saturn. Because Pluto is a generation, and it will be moving into Aquarius. And we're seeing that transformation already with Pluto in Capricorn and Pluto moving through the last degrees of it. Thank you for listening.